It is. Trying out something new, working on my son's custom bobber. Thanks, Bob. I'm new to this stage, so bear with me a little bit. I'm trying to figure everything out. So new to this stage, so bear with me a little bit. Figure everything out. Only got a little bit to go before it is done. I got a few things on the list, but this one he doesn't want to reveal until to a show or something. So we've been trying to get this one covered up as much as possible. But I got a couple more bills that we're getting ready to start on too. Covered up as much as possible. Well, I hope so. Um, there's a little bit of delay I've noticed on this, so I'm learning. I haven't decided on the next one that I'm going to do. I got a couple I'm going to pick from. So I got a couple different ideas. Kind of think I'm going to bounce them off some people, take kind of like a poll on it, for projects, and go from there. Yeah. Um, this one's quite a bit different. There's only been a handful of pictures out there that I sent out. A couple of them are to a couple different shows that I'm wanting to put it into an intent. Um, hoping to get accepted to a couple of them, so I'm going to do like a bigger unveil at the bike shows. The next build I am going to try to do a lot of live stuff on. Uh, just depends on which way I go with it. This is the first time I've done a live and just trying to figure it out. Kind of thought I'd figure it out a little bit while spinning up with this one. I've got like I got to glue the grip, clean it up, and put a fuel filter on it. I've already fired it. I got a temporary fuel filter running on it right now, but I got to put primary oil in it, adjust the clutch. It's pretty wild. Do I have you on? Are you on my Instagram, Dave? I appreciate that. Kind of bland, I feel. I just haven't done a bunch of this. So I like to work. Don't usually stop and talk, but teach my kids and everything. Seeing what I can do. Hey, farming biker. When you got all the farming stuff done, what do you got to do? Clean everything up now. Once you're done, you do all your maintenance for get everything ready for next year. I'm realizing that it's very hard to try to work and keep up in the side chat on this. Hey, Axan, not bad for the first time, I guess. Kind of thought it'd be boring for people. I didn't expect people to show up. So I got like it says 3 people watching. Now it says 5 people watching. So, so I started out tightening down the front axle, torquing it out, and measured it off. Better to make sure the axle was centered, and then torqued down both sides of it. Um, there's not a whole lot left to do on the build. I was kind of running a test of this tonight before I started the next one. I haven't decided which way I'm going to go. I got a couple different ideas. First idea is going to be kind of an interactive build right from start to finish on it. The got a couple, got about 7 or 8 projects going right now. So I just haven't decided on which one's next into the shop. I try to concentrate on them and get them done as I do them. I don't like doing multiple projects at once. So I do work a full-time normal job. So this is my hobby. I don't do it full time. It's kind of my stress relief, my mental health time once I come out here at the shop. It's small, um, not super big. It's a little, the camera a little bit. Not being able to see it makes it a little tough. There's a couple more bikes. My wife's bike, my road glide. But when I'm not riding choppers, I ride that. Uh, my wife doesn't like to ride with choppers with me a lot because, well, breaking down, she don't like it. We broke down in Milwaukee. Rode there in the rain. First shakedown ride of the bike started, took off out of the driveway. Made it all the way to Milwaukee before I broke down. So ended up fixing it for 2 hours on the side of the highway. She doesn't like being the parts runner very often, but we'll do it. Got a couple different choppers that I tried to get her ride in the back one time. She don't like that fender. So I like the hardtails, and this one here is a hardtail. Even though it's covered up, I've shown a little bit of it when I was doing some stuff on it. I ran some brakes, different kind of brake lines and everything. I've been trying out of this one. About the only thing that's left that's stock on it still has a Harley Vane. That's about what we didn't take any farther. Hey, Renegade's Garage. So I got to put my glasses on so I can read sometimes. Can't see far away. Getting that older age eyes, I think I took a bad eye injury about a year ago. Lost a lot of vision in one eye. It makes it hard to weld and everything. Sometimes when I'm welding, you'll see me put a patch over my eyes so I can see. But I don't know what it's a lot of fun farming. It's definitely different. This is the third build I've done. I've already started the fourth. I'm going to go a completely different way on one of these bikes. It's going to be a lot of something to watch. It's going to be something I can enjoy this time of year. When we get a little bit of that white stuff decides it wants to come down. I've done about every kind of riding. I've done hill climbs, flat track, motocross. I like riding choppers. The chopper that I normally ride is a foot clutch suicide shift Sportster, fuel headed, 240 rear tire, front end. It's a handful to ride. I tried filming it last time I rode it, did a little footage of it. It didn't end well for the camera, so that didn't work out. I'm gonna mount it on my wife's Street 5 next time and have her film it. Maybe put it on the crash bar or something so it's down low. I think I've been talking to Ray's Moto a little bit too, but I think I might have somebody help me on this, like them. When I'm working that way, they can follow along on the side chat. Um, makes it a little. That'll make it a little easier because working and talking, and I kind of got a one-track mind. My mind gets going, and I start working on something. I'll stop talking. You guys watch it live. It's going to be on edited, and that white stuff's got to come sometime or another. That's what I like. This is my favorite time of year to ride right now when it's cold. I'll get out all the way to the salt hits the ground. You guys watch sometimes. Farming biker knows you get frustrated. It's kind of rough doing this stuff live. But my wife says the best way to keep me calm is put me on camera when I'm working. There's a sign on the wall over there. My kids got me for Christmas. Watch for flying tools. It's a little easier not to throw them around. Got a bunch of Harleys sitting around in the shop, so it keeps me concentrated on it. I built the whole wiring harness on this bike from scratch. Didn't use anything. I wish I had filmed a lot more during the build because after we rebuild it, I'd like to put a lot of that out, but we did take a lot of pictures. I did film a lot of footage. I just didn't think about it. I started my page about halfway through it. One of the events that I wanted to enter it in, they asked me if I had any social media. I just started having social media. I didn't never realize it was something to be on a bike show where they wanted you to have some kind of following. You know, they looked at the page. I had like 5 followers, and they came right out and emailed and said, "Well, you probably don't have much of a chance. This person's got 20,000 followers. So this little guy's got to start somewhere." And I told my dad, "We'll just keep trying it. We'll give him one." I let him go his way on the build. His idea was pretty awesome. It's definitely different. I like it. I didn't like it at first, it was something different, but it's old school. For 20s to come up with something like this, it's wild. It's not anything. There's nothing that most people would be looking at these times. He's got some good ideas. It's going to be a different kind of thing to get shown. So. I'm going to do a little bit more work, trying to get caught up on what I was going to do. You guys can hang out, kind of talk in the side chat. I'll check it out once in a while. I was actually just testing this. I didn't think anybody would stop in and check it out. I guess I might have good content. So my plan is, on the next one is I'm going to not cover the next one. And I'm probably going to take it to the shows as it goes, kind of promote what I'm doing a little bit. School chopper stuff's just not around anymore. I mean, it's coming back. But younger generations missed out on what all us older guys know in the chopper and how neutral about everything. But I looked, and you start looking at footage, and there's people doing bagger stuff all the time. I'm not saying about baggers. I like them. They're a lot nicer to ride. My son and me are probably going to ride down to Smokeout Rally this year, one of our planned rides. We're going to ride a couple hardtail choppers from up here Michigan down to Smokeout Rally. My son asked me how long it take. I said, "Well, we better plan on about 14 miles round trip. I think it's going to take us about 4 days there, 4 days back. It's going to figure 300 miles on a hardtail. Roads the way they are. You ain't going to be on the highway riding it out the whole time. You can do some highway riding. You're going to need a break. I know I am. I think 350, 400 miles is the most I've done. Happy Thanksgiving, Farmer and Biker. Thank you, Dave. All right, Renegades. Putting my tools away. I like to try to keep the stuff put away, at least in here as much as possible, so I can find when I need it. try to stay as organized as possible. Especially, being on camera, you got to be a little more cleaner. Try not to throw stuff around. I'm an automotive tech all day long and come home and mess around in here. Like I said, it's my mental health time. Funnel for primary fluid. To be done tonight, I guess that part of the steps. And start with the parts run for some primary oil. Service of about 3 of the bikes in our fleet. Pick them up, change 2 of the floors, make sure things are good. How you doing, Mater? So used stuff out of PC Bros. They always send some stuff with it when they get it for them. Let's Select Customs. Give them a shout out. Patrick there, he's been a great help too. Did some really custom stuff for some of the things I was going to run. Lowbrow Customs, I've used them a lot in this build. A lot of these places, you call them on the phone, you start talking to them, pick their brain a little bit, they kind of appreciate it. Thanks, XAN. This is something, trying it out. I see a lot of people doing different stuff, and I kind of like being in the live stuff, popping around the side chat. So, and I don't have very many subscribers, but if you build the stuff and people enjoy it, people can't learn it. They don't. Some people don't know how to do it themselves, and nobody's really teaching you how to build a chopper. I've got my kids. My kid built half this with him. I stood around and talked to him, told him what to do. It probably the hardest thing I ever done is sitting back, just telling him, "Hey, do this." When I was a young kid, not super old, but I can remember in the early '80s, my dad building choppers in the front living room of our house, twisted forks, stretched out, raked the frame. I had a bicycle that was stretched out, long forks, everything like that. Hey, Toby. I started riding when I was probably really young, 7, 8 years old. My dad rode motocross, and I'd take me to the track. He was pretty competitive. As soon as I showed an interest into it, he took it off with me. And being his little helper in the front living room or in the garage, I learned everything. I was pretty much self-taught. I do it all kind of self-taught and stuff. I had some pretty good influences, some guys that helped me. So the guy that painted this for me, he was pretty surprised when we took the stuff to him, and I kind of custom built a pretty unusual battery box. He did a lot of work, but he was cool, hooked me up. So but my wife, I don't know if you guys have seen the video I put out, but my wife's 4'11". I built her a Sportster Bagster. It's out of a Sportster, my old 2000. I got hit on that bike and brought it back to life. Uh, she moved up to a street glide. She does really well on it. Um, there was a problem with the touch, so we dropped it. Put an FBI drop seat in it. Got it down farther. Put some air ride on it so she can touch it. If she goes up and down. But Toby, I have my daughter's Army veteran, and we go back and forth all the time with that one. She was going to go in the Navy at first and thought I was being a good dad, did everything to talk her out of it. She came back and told me, join the Army. I guess I made bad decisions with talking her out because she made worse decisions joining the Army. Not that the Army's a bad thing. I just don't want to put my daughter out there in the Army, being in places like that. At least in the Navy, most of the time you're not in danger. Yeah, they all go to bikes. Toby, every one of those up there, they go to a bike. I just picked up the black bike. I just picked it up this year. My wife's still a little bit mad. She says I got a problem. I think that was number 13. Um, she says I need to go to a meeting. I think I'll tell her now that I got a meeting and you guys can be my sponsors. And I'll make a bunch of bad decisions asking you guys what it's a good idea to buy it. Definitely didn't expect this many people to be in. I kind of put it out there and let it go for a little bit, just kind of see what was there. If there was any interest in it. Kind of must have picked the right time. Wish I could tell you guys I'd be on at a certain time every night. There's a lot of things in normal life, and making this just kind of relaxing area. I don't try to push it to anything like that. I think on the next one we'll have. I think I'll do in the next slide is I'll get this one off the lift. What do you guys think? Think we should do a frame? I got. I'll bring the frame machine back in here, set it up, bring the jig in, set it up, we'll build a frame. There, yeah, I'll try that out later. Have to be in the evening sometime. I do like get home about 6 o'clock. Set up out here in the studio. It takes me a little bit of time. All right, Farm Biker. Have a good night. Happy Thanksgiving. Hey, if you guys haven't checked out Farming Biker stuff, you guys should check his stuff out. I follow him. He's kind of local. He's not super far from me. And first the content. So this isn't a super big shop. I don't know if it looks big on camera. It is small. But I build it. It's a hobby. I mean, I get a lot of calls. People ask me to do stuff. My friends and family, they want to come over and use my stuff. I don't mind, but they do the work and I'll help them. I'm Eastern time zone, Mater. I figure if you get, especially on choppers, if you're building a chopper, if you don't know how to work on it, you're going to have a bad day. I'll tell you what, you ride choppers enough, you're going to break down. I was laughing at Reed's moto thing where he's got a good trademark saying right lanes for stock, man. That's great. I think shoulders for choppers because one time or another you're gonna need that shoulder. I was riding my PTSD chopper, that digital camel frame, and I was riding it. Big group of people, and bike shut off on me. Just shut right off, and I went to start it up. I didn't have the key. Realized the whole ignition was gone fell right out the bike. Looking around, found the ignition. About 3 or 4 people ran the key over, but ended up hot wiring it right at home. Monday and Wednesdays, Mater. I'll check it out. I'll get with you. You got Instagram, Mater? Figure kind of the holiday weekend's kind of a hard time to go live, anyways. Everybody got a lot of stuff going on in their family. I was just testing. Got the camera set up, and trying to figure out camera angle, trying to figure out how the live thing works. Well, I'm newer to the social media thing, not real tech savvy, learning all that stuff. I mean, I can work on cars, but work on bikes. But when it comes to computer stuff, I can program a computer in a car and do all that stuff. But holidays are for choppers. That's right. All right, my Instagram Salty Badger too. It's D. I'll put it in the side chat. Easier. Send me a message on there, Mater, and I'll see what I can do. Help you out. I like that Springer front end you put on yours, Dave. That really, I like that on that bike. Personally, I think a Springer makes anything look good. I've been tossed around. The only thing that made my road glide look better if I could figure out how to put a Springer on the front of it. Might have to go to a Road King style and with a Springer on it, something like that. Figure something out. I seen one at a show here in Michigan not too long ago. It was a it was a Sportster with a Springer with air ride on the front of the Springer. Not sure how it rode, but I kind of like that idea. I'm probably gonna stay on. I'll probably stay on here 15 more minutes or so and talk with you guys. I gotta get to bed though. I gotta get up early too. Like I said, I'm planning on just testing this out. I've been on about 46 minutes. It was supposed to be a test. All of a sudden, Dave shows up and says, once Dave's here, I guess it's on because people started following. It's like 30, 39 degrees outside. I fired up the heater earlier and come out here and decided to try out the camera, set it up, and see how this stuff works. In fact, I got to turn it down until the warm right now. Hey, doctor. Thanks for stopping in, checking it out. It's my first one, so I did torque down that front axle, Springer front end tonight in the very beginning, but went to put oil in it. Realized I've run out of primary gear oil. It's pretty tempting not to grab a hold of a blanket and pull it off, but I got to save that one for later. I did tell myself I didn't. Just about like having your wife when she's laying there in bed and you know she's naked, you want to just rip that cover off, but if it's cold in there, she's gonna hate you. Little sneak. I do have a little sneak peek sitting here. The seat for the next one. Um, Actually, starting with a seat. I just tried something out, but with the idea I have is well, I haven't seen it done. I even searched it. I even Googled it. Haven't seen it. So, like I said, I've done flat track. I've done ice racing. I love ice racing. That's a lot of fun. If you can ride a Harley on ice, we haven't had enough ice to get out there on it lately. But see you later, Toby. Good night. I rode crotch rockets. Cruisers are a lot more fun, especially you get older. Um, I still like Doctor. And not building them super fast, nothing like Doctor builds there. Uh, I think I got slower in my old age. Funny story. I I ride that '03 Road Glide, and my wife, like I told you, I built a bagster for her, and she was always chasing me down. I bought her the street glide, and we stayed doing it. And we go every corner. She's taking off, and I'm chasing her down, getting all it's got, keep up with her. Right. I'll stay to it, but I don't think I'm going to because I don't like not being able to catch her all the time. she left me at a light, and I couldn't believe it. She like walked right away from me, and I was trying. She just I was running her down, but I wasn't catching her. The guy at the Harley shop when we got done with it, and he's I was getting ready to put it in the trailer. He's like, "Let me ride it on there." She rode it up in the trailer. He couldn't believe it that she could even touch. And when she pulled up, gave her a little throttle and she picked it right back. And when she picked that back there, you got right back straight, went right straight up in the trailer. So I mean, yeah, I she used to ride on my chop would beside me on the chopper. She'd always leave me extra room, and she's the best riding partner I got because she knows where I'm going all the time. We had people riding, yeah, they were wondering what's going on, and she cuts way out of the way because I can't make a tight corner. I got so much brake on my bike, and she cuts that lane so I can make room. The corner, went around the corner one time, and she didn't make quite enough room. She got out of the way. She went up through this guy's yard, up over the curb, down, back, and I kept been riding. Never missed a beat. We just took right off right with the group. Nobody ever missed anything. So she, as long as she's beside me, I know she knows what's going on, and I know it's good. We ride side by side everywhere, and I'll put my bike in the corner next to it. Yeah, XAN. Mike Matt is a pretty good guy. I met him over in Renegade's garage. He does Renegades does a good tool review, and I see Mater in there. He's a good guy. Pretty much everybody in here I've talked to inside chat and stuff. And I like the support from you guys. A little different being in the shop with other people. I mean, normally I'm in here by myself, and I guess I probably talk just as much talking to myself. Yeah, they that's this is kind of old school with new school, but it's the basics, man. They don't have any. There's no nothing pretty on it. Well, it is pretty, but I mean, there's no fringes though. I mean, it it's it's more of a bobber than a chopper. So, hey, Doctor, I got a question. What is the difference between a chopper and a bobber? Does anybody know? I've always kind of run by it with bobbers more if you don't mess with the neck. If you run the stack rake and trail, then it's a bobber. If you mess with rake and trail, then it's a chopper. Stretch the backbone of the down tube, it's a chopper. But if you don't mess that backbone of the down tubes, I'd have to say it's a bobber. That's right, Doctor. No school like old school. All right, Dave. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Take parts off, but it's a chopper. Cut the back fender. It's a bobber, in my opinion. That makes sense too. I mean, I think that's an ongoing debate, though. I think bobber and jobber differences. I don't think there's a written rule on it. I guess is the way to say it. I mean, you call it one or the other. So unprepared here. I got to plug this in before you guys all go bye bye. I was actually kind of surprised that I got good internet service out here in the shop. It's quite a way. Hey Juan, how you doing? So give you, I did it earlier, but it's a little tough to do because of the delay. But we'll turn the camera a little bit, give you a little tour here. I mean, there's two bikes and one on the lift. That's about full. Now you get to look at me again. So, but yeah, it's small. I built it small so I can try to keep my stuff organized and clean. Because one thing, if you have it clean, you can find it. Um, well, like I said, I do have 12 other bikes. Or no, wait, one, two, other bikes in the storage building that's waiting for a fix on something. I just I haven't decided which one's next and what I'm going to do. I will say that it's probably going to be a Sportster. Um, I have a thing for Sportsters. I mean, I've got everything else out there, but I like the Sportsters. Especially chopped out Sportsters are a lot of fun. I got a Kickstart 72 out there that's already been chopped in 70s. Only problem is the starter keeps getting burned out every time I try to start it. I got to get it running before I start really working on it. And I think it used to be. I remember when I was a kid, my dad had a old panhead that was a kickstart. He told me I could ride it if I could kickstart that thing. I don't think I got to ride that until I was 18 years old. But again, that was probably his plan. Yeah, I definitely like that heritage chopper you got going, Dave. That I mean, I I like anything with Springer on the front of it. I think Springer would make a bike. They're sexy. You put a Springer on the front of a bike, and it changes the whole bike. I've been looking at a couple different Springer front ends for the next one. Well, not well. Depends on which way I go on which build I do next. Thinking about the old. Uh, been looking at the I forget what is a glider front end with the leaf spring front end Springer. Uh, uh, so it's funny because there's just so many different options on that stuff that you start looking around, your mind starts wandering. Next thing you know, you're on the next project, and that's kind of how I ended up with so many different bikes. I get my build planned out on how I want to do it, and come across another idea, then I got to grab another bike. Starts getting cold, and winter starts coming on. I get a little more shop time because I'm not out riding them. Plus, I got to bring my chopper back in here. I got a couple things I got to fix. I got something going on with a wiring gremlin. I think one of the wires rubbed through. But I put it's got pineapple grenades for tail lights and pineapple grenade for the shifter handle, and it one of the tail lights kind of decides it wants to work where it wants to, and yeah, I see that kind of XAN. That's kind of the rake and trail thing when you start stretching them out. But I tell you, there's definite mathematics involved. And when I always thought when they said in school you use math later, when you start messing with rake and trail, there's math involved. And even building this one, there was times I was using math, and I was like, man, it's common when you start fabricating stuff. You know, I started grabbed a micrometer, dial indicator, and I went to show my son how to use it, and he was always really good at math, and he already knew. There wasn't much training there. He was quicker at the math part of it than I was. All right, I'm gonna cut it off here about 10:30. About 10 more minutes. I do got to get in. I got to let the dogs out. What's the first thing I do with the stock bike? Um, well, everything that I've had except for those two sitting right there. First thing I've done, take the back tire off, take the rear swing arm off, and it's I was in I think it was on Doctor's channel, Dr. Harley's channel. They did a suspension thing, and I watched that whole video, and I'm sitting there thinking, man, why am I even watching this video? But now one of the projects is I'm gonna put front and rear suspension on my road glide, and it's got. I think I got like 90,000 miles on it. It's stock. I haven't done. I did put a stereo on it, put stage one on it, and that's all I've done to it. My wife's 18 Street Glide. We did one of those off-road pipes on the front of it because she don't ride it a bunch, and most of the time when she does ride it, she's not riding it on the road. I guess is the best way to put it, because those, so you got those things you're supposed to have on there, and it's missing. And in fact, Harley, I don't know how true it is, but Harley said that for much longer they won't be able to tune them when they're done here, at least locally. They're kind of scared of them. Thanks for the lights, guys. I mean, uh, like I said, this is just kind of like a drop in popped up, and I was trying it out to see how it worked. I wasn't really even sure how to do this when I started out. I put the camera up, went around on StreamYard, trying to figure out how to make it work, and it came on, and I let it run for a few minutes. People started dropping in. I don't even know if my thumbnail showed up in the beginning of it, but if it did, it did. If it didn't, I'll figure that out later. Plus, I really hate editing videos, and if I record them, I have trouble finding them again. Even like put it on a card, SD card, and put it in the computer. And my kid's not here. I don't have somebody here to show me how to get it out of there, out of the camera into the computer. I lose patience. I don't. My kid works. Both my daughters, they work. Asking somebody to sit down for me with an hour while I try to edit these videos, I figure maybe the live thing's better. All right, Xan, thanks. I kind of cropped that all together, kind of learning. Good thing is my kids are good at that kind of stuff, and you can help me. I took a video on a ride. We got some footage out there of it. I I don't really like the ride video thing. I use a HP laptop, I guess, for the computer on, and I got an Android phone. It's an old Galaxy. I got a video camera I hooked up, and kind of YouTube the stuff, figure out how to hook it all up, make it work. And I called my son, he got working. I was like, I think it's working. I don't know. And then I had to figure out how to change the camera because my laptop camera with the lighting in the shop, it was all whited out. You can't really see anything. I had a bunch of real, I think I had two bright lights inside the shop. I didn't think it was possible, but when you're working on stuff and you're starting to get a glare off it when you're working on it, I mean, this tour pack there, that thing's on camera looks a lot better than it does in person. Yeah, it's camcorder hooked up to my laptop for the camera, and I got an external mic on the camcorder. A lot of people said to use headphones or something like that, but trying to work with headphones on and I don't do it. I'm not a hearing protection kind of person. Kind of weird. I got 8 likes on a live video, and that's more likes than most of my regular videos get. So maybe the editing isn't for me. Shout out to XAN Biker though. Here's the charger I won from the giveaway that he did for 200 subscribers. Make sure to check out his channel. He got some good content. Really nice guy. He got it out quick too. Yeah. So I've noticed everybody's kind of got a catchphrase they do when they finish up things and everything. And I really don't have a catchphrase. I like I tell everybody when they get on a bike with me and we go for a ride, I always tell them, ride your ride, ride to your ability. And if you got to slow down, I got more respect for you than if I look back and you're trying to keep up and you're not in control. And so I've seen people go down because they were riding above their ability. If you can't control it, if you're not in control, it's a bad deal. I mean, I especially riding choppers, I don't push it. I know what it'll do, and it'll burn the tire. It'll smoke the tire, but you start getting a little bit of wheel hop doing a burn on a chopper, and they don't end well. Plus that 240 tire on the back of the chopper that I ride the most, that 240 tire, it ain't cheap and it ain't easy to change. I was coming back last thing before we go because it's 10:30. I said I was going to cut it off. It's got the twisted chopper frame on it, and I was coming back from a bike show about an hour and a half from home. My son was riding beside me. We're going about 45 miles an hour. I got the seat started to feel a little loose, and I started feeling like the bike was getting loose. And so I started slowing down, and when I and when I look back and I'm looking, and the bike just kind of feels like the back end's moving all over the place. So I pull over to the side of the shoulder of the road, and the rear wheel bearing went out on it. And by the time I got it pulled over, got it stopped and got on there, there wasn't no bearing left back there. We pulled it apart. Went home, sent my son home. I sat on the side of the road and realized that I was about 5-10 minutes from my uncle's house, and I limped it about 2-3 miles an hour to my uncle's house. He was getting the trailer around. By the time he got back with the trailer, I had the wheel off it. By the time he got back, that wheel was off it. And I left it there. Went and got bearings in it, put pounded bearings in it, changed the bearings out, rode it home, got it home, and that was a good ride though. Hey, Eva, you caught the end of it. Nice to see you stop in here, though. Appreciate it. I'm just getting ready to get out of here. I'll be going live again. I'll try to give you guys a little more heads up. like I said, I'll put some better content out there. Something I got to cover up. I'll get the. I think I'm gonna get the. Well, I don't know. I've got two of them in my head. I'm either gonna build one that's a lot different for this time of year, and well, I'll tell you what, I'll put it out there, and when I put maybe I'll put a little sneak peek out there if I bring the frame jig in. If I bring the frame jig in, I'll snap a picture of that when I'm setting it up. Maybe put a little bit of video. That's going to be a good one to follow. The frame jig comes in. That break's going to go. That's going to go a little different. Like I said, I googled that one. I see nothing like it. So so uh, you guys have a good night. Have a happy Thanksgiving. I don't think I'll get on here tomorrow. If I do, it's going to be a little quick thing. And like I said, I'll give you a little bit of heads up. Everybody have a good night. Be safe. Ride safe.